Hello, bonjour. My name is Commissioner Brian Peddle, and I am the Territorial Commander for the Salvation Army in the Canada and Bermuda Territory. It's a great privilege to be able to lead an organization like ours in these days in communities across our territory. The Salvation Army has served the Canadian population for the last 130 years. This gives us now the position to be Canada's largest non-governmental direct provider of social services. We get to do that in over 400 communities across our country, serving last year 1.8 million people. Our responsibility to our community is birthed out of our ethos of Christian faith and commitment. I'm always amazed at the diversity of the Army's work across Canada. Let me tell you a personal story. Recently, while visiting the Harbour Light in Vancouver, I met a man who's on staff by the name of Billy Smith. While we were walking through that facility, Billy and I worked out the fact that we had actually met before. It happened 25 years ago when I was the leader of a youth camp in Saskatchewan for the Salvation Army, and Billy was one of the kids that came from a number of marginalized families throughout Saskatchewan. Billy's life had taken pretty interesting turns during those 25 years and a lot of challenges and problems. But I was meeting Billy these 25 years later, and he is now the shipper and receiver for the Salvation Army's work at the Vancouver Harbour Light. Billy becomes that wonderful witness to the fact that the Salvation Army's desire to give dignity to all and to create the possibility of transformation really works. We're absolutely delighted that Billy is a part of the team that makes that possible for others. What excites me equally is this incredible army that stands with us. It's an army that's made up of advisory boards, donors, both individual and corporate, to the extent that we realized last year $180 million in donations towards the various programs that we run. In addition to that is the more than 200,000 volunteers that come alongside and stand with us and lift this banner of dignity for all. These are exciting days in the Salvation Army. We are who we are because of many of the partnerships that we share. One of those is with government, and we get to experience that through the federal, provincial, and municipal levels. Last year, we were the recipients of $210 million in support of our programs. We also have opportunity to speak into and react to policy that government is developing so that we with government can measure and respond to the social impact throughout our various communities. I'm excited as a leader of the Salvation Army to be able to partner with communities all across our country as we respond to social justice issues. One of those would be human trafficking. While I was visiting Western Canada recently, I was able to visit our safe house. I was taken there to become more acquainted with the whole reality of this difficulty in our communities. During that time, I was in a position where I was introduced to two ladies who had only days earlier been rescued from a human trafficking ring. I remember personally finding that very challenging, and reaching out to shake the hands of these two ladies was very intimidating for me. What do you say? What words would be appropriate? And I found myself stumbling in their presence, perhaps a little bit embarrassed about what had happened to them in my country. And I remember walking away having said, God bless you, with a great hope within my own heart that their dignity would be restored, that their lives would be enhanced and transformed, and that the Salvation Army would be able to be a part of that journey for them as they found new lives in this land. As we look forward to the future and the emerging needs that are before us, there are many challenges. One of the ways that we are meeting that challenge is by establishing centers like the Barbara Mitchell Family Resource Center in Winnipeg. This is a place that exists in a community where families around are able to come to the resource center. Their children get to play in a very safe environment. Families are able to find opportunities to learn life skills, and even those that are new Canadians get to be introduced to their culture and to learn English as a second language. For a moment, let me take you beyond our boundaries to introduce you to the work that we do in other countries. In particular, let me tell you of my personal experience in visiting Malawi and sharing something of the significance of the projects that the Salvation Army supports there. I remember visiting one community in a very dry and dusty part of southern Malawi, and the village people telling me about how hard it was to find a solution to their challenges. They're not able to grow crops and they're not able to raise livestock. They figured out that they could be good at beekeeping. So the Salvation Army partners with them in this beekeeping project, out of which comes honey, out of which comes the possibility of being able to buy the things that they need to create sustainability in their community. So a whole village finds new opportunities through this wonderful reality. And the Salvation Army is excited to be a part of providing that kind of dignity for a whole community. The critical work of the Salvation Army in restoring hope and dignity to men, women and children wouldn't be possible without your generous support. We are truly grateful to you, our friends and supporters. Thank you. Merci. Whether it's helping send a kid to camp, providing basic necessities when disaster strikes, or giving someone a safe, warm bed for the night, your commitment to helping others weather the crises in their lives is not only greatly appreciated by those who help them, like the Salvation Army, but most importantly by those who benefit from our services. God bless you, and thank you for your continued generosity.